Hey guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to achieve this perfect, sultry, cool toned smoky eye. Perfect for date night, perfect for the holidays, or perfect for just getting glam and sitting on your couch. If you're curious as to see what products I used and how I achieved this look, then please just go ahead and be sure to keep on watching. For today's video, since I already do have my base done, this is going to be a more eye-focused tutorial, and I'm going to be using the Anastasia Sultry palette. This is honestly an oldie but a goodie. It used to be one of my favorite palettes, and I felt inspired by it today. Since I am wearing black, I wanted to go for a more cool-toned look, which is something I rarely ever do, but I'm feeling in the moment, so let's get it done. So this is the palette right here. This is like a cool-toned dream. Honestly, you have the perfect amount of shimmers and mattes, and you do have a black in the palette and a more creamy white, which I love because you can use the black to deepen up any shade and use the white to lighten any shade, do it brow bone highlight, anything you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So first and foremost, I'm gonna be taking the shade Birch and just dusting that right in the crease, just kind of fluffing it out. And these shades are very pigmented, and they are slightly powdery since they are lightly pressed, which I don't have a problem with, but I know some people do. So just be cautious when you are, kind of going for the Anastasia shadows, since they are pressed so lightly. They do have fallout when you just tap into the pan. But I'm just using that on a big fluffy brush and blending it in the crease, and this will act as our transition shade. Kind of winging it out a little bit, circular motions, and windshield wiper. And you can always go back in and build up the shade where you want it. So that's what I'm doing on my right eye. So now that I have that shade buffed out, I'm going to be just taking a slightly smaller brush. This is the JH35 from Morphe. And I'm going to kind of deepen it up and kind of make it, since it is slightly warm toned right now, I'm going to make it a little bit cooler, and I'm going to dip into the shade Twig right there. And again, dip it in, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to kind of buff that right in the outer corner, and then bring it into the crease, just a little bit lower than the initial shade that we used. And just kind of bringing it halfway into the crease, just like that, and then going back in with the initial fluffy brush just to blend out all the edges. Make sure that there's no harsh lines. And then going in with that same brush, I'm going to take the shade Dystopian, which is this one right here in the palette. It's like that dark cool tone brown. And I'm going to do the same exact thing, but just keep it more towards the outer corner and blend it a little bit lower. Again, what I like to do is just initially stamp on the shade and then swipe. Just kind of like that. And you can see already how much darker it made it. And again, just stamping, kind of swiping it to where I want it, and then buffing it out using the circular motions. And again, bring it slightly up into that crease, just to kind of give it some depth and darkness. So for the lid, I'm just going to take the shade Cinder right on my ring finger, and I'm just going to pat that all over the lid. And that's actually not as bright as I want it, so I think I'm going to take a little bit of Pearl and kind of just tap over that shade. There, just to kind of give it more of that icy effect, which is what I was going for. And then again, just going in with the initial blending brush and blend in all that out. And then one more time going in with the JH35, dipping into Dystopian and Twig, which are those two darker shades. And I'm just tapping that where the two shades meet to kind of bring back the depth and the darkness that we had before. That kind of got faded out during blending. And you can just buff that into the desired shape that you'd like. I'm gonna go for like a more cat eye wing effect. And then now to go ahead and finish up the lower lash line, I'm gonna take the JH39, it's just like a simple little pencil brush, going in with the shade Birch, which was the first one we started with, and buffing that all on the lower lash line. Just really smoking it out. And then kind of having it meet up here. And then taking that same brush, gonna do a mixture of Twig and Dystopian, which were these two shades right here, and just mixing them on the brush and then buffing it on the lower lash line. And for those two shades, you just wanna kind of keep it on the outer third. That way it doesn't get too dark right in here, because then that can kind of have a tendency to close off your eye. So if you just keep it wide, and then connect it to the top shadow, and then do the same on the other eye. So since I want the upper lid to be a little bit more glittery, I'm just going to go in with the Hourglass Scattered Light in the shade Smoke. I absolutely love this color. It's like this beautiful taupe, like pewter shade. It's just really pretty on the eye, and it kind of looks like that. So it kind of does look like the first initial shade that we went in with, which was Cinder, but this does have more of like the micro glitters in it. And again, just kind of tapping that on the lid. So I've got it just like that, and then I'm just going to take the brush that we used to use on the outer corner, and I'm just blending those shades together. Just to make sure everything is seamless and well blended. And then last but not least, taking just any clean blending brush and fluffing the crease, making sure that there's no harsh lines. And I feel that this look calls for a wing, so I'm just going to take the Fenty liner, the Fly liner, and pop on a quick wing. Just something like that, and then I'm going to do the same to the other eye. So now that I have the wings on, I'm going to go ahead and pop on a lash, and I'll be right back. Just went ahead and popped on the Kiss Naked Drama Lashes in the Style Tool. They're a lot smaller than I would normally go for, but I think that they're cute. And last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and finish off the lip, and I'm going to be using the Stunna Lip Paint from Fenty in the shade Uncensored. Alright, and there you have it. This is the finished look. Alright you guys, and that completes today's video. If you did like it, be sure to go ahead and drop a like down below, as well as a comment as to what you'd like to see from me next. And if you have yet to subscribe, it's gonna be so much fun joining the family, and all you gotta do is click a button. I mean, it's not rocket science, right? Like, it's not that hard. So if you want, please subscribe and then hit that notification bell. That way you're notified every single time I upload a video. I love you guys so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye guys.